Hi, this is Brad with the Returns for Sale app, and we're going to go over branding the widget. This is one of the first things you should do, and it's really important. And just so you understand what a widget is, this is what we call a widget. This is what you use to highlight and display and sell an open box return that can't be sold as new, or any used item that you want to sell on your website at a discount. So to do that, we're going to go back into the Returns for Sale app. We're going to go into Settings. We're going to go to Widget Branding. A lot of this is self-explanatory, but I'm going to go down the line and explain them one by one. To display the total views, that shows up right here. When we unclick that, you can see it. It creates some demand when you're selling an open box return, particularly when you're dripping it in price. You're going to see the droplet here. This droplet only shows up if you're dripping in price. Remember, you can price something at a flat discount price or a flat discount percentage, but when you drip it in price, and that could be at 0.1%, 1%, 2%, and by the way, at 1%, it's not in 100 days it gets to zero. That's in perpetuity, so it's 1% from the day before. But that's how this would show up. You could ignore that, say if you wanted it to just to drip it really slow and not have the drip show up, that's okay too. But this history also is an option to show. If you want to show where it started, where it's at, and where it's going, let me show you how that goes. Here on this history tab here, it's going to show where it's going at 1%. And you can see it's been dripping for a while, and the max discount is 35%. You can see where it's going. That's just an option if you want to show that. The rounded corners, you can see how that shows up. The Add to Cart button, I recommend having the Add to Cart button. Whether you have the Add to Cart button or not, what we do is we create a new page. So if you click here, the new item is going to come up here, and you can see we've got the widget on here. From here, they would add to cart, buy it now from there. The other option is if they click on the Add to Cart button, it goes right to the cart itself. The variant exclusive is important if you're selling something with multiple size and colors. Say shoes is a good example. In this case, the variant exclusive is not checked. So what that looks like when I have multiple variants, you can see here I've got a list of numerous products that are listed as open box returns. If I click on, say, this orange one in the mid size, it's going to pop up to the top. The orange one pops up, you can see it's highlighted. But the other way to do it is if you have variant exclusive checked. So now it's going to be variant exclusive. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to refresh my page. And you'll notice here when I have the variant exclusive that there's not a widget showing up, even though I have all those open box returns. But let's click on the orange mid. You'll notice here that only that one shows up. That's the variant exclusive. So if the other ones didn't have one, this won't be showing up. It's only when they're clicking on that. Sometimes that makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. I think if you're selling shoes, and someone's looking for a size 10, you would only want to show that, but that's totally up to you. This is a customizable widget. And if you're confused on that, simply click here and it explains it as well. The other things that you can customize, of course, are the colors. Red, of course, signalizes sale, but you can put this at whatever you want. You can put in the colors, or you can also type in your color code right here. Other things to cover are the fonts. Now your fonts you can put in as a custom font, but they have to be included within your theme. We can't just put any font you find on the web. It has to be within your theme. This is a custom CSS. This is a shortcut to a snippet within your theme editor. That would say if you wanted to round the corners more, or you wanted to create a scroll or less scroll, or you can just customize this how you want, and that's just a shortcut to it. Everything I've shown you so far is going to show up by default, including what I'm about to show you, but this one is changeable when you create a drip. You'll see here at the top, I call it resale. Let's say we're selling off some bike demos or ski demos. We could call it that. And you click save. This is what would show up is drip demos by default. And you can change that when you're creating a drip. But for this example, you can also, by the way, have nothing up there if you wanted. But let's just say you did custom write your own. We've got custom returns there. We'll call it bike demos along that line. We're going to save that. So now bike demos is going to show up every time. But when you go to create a drip, it'll allow you to change that at any point. To show you what I mean, when we go here and we create a new drip, you can see here now it says bike demos. But as I said, you can change that to whatever you want and retype it. The last piece I want to show you on the branding the widget is the one-line widget. The one-line widget is a way that you could just put in the typeface here, open box return, you open it up, and here along that example it says bike demos. But you can also change what that says, and you might say bike demos for sale, and that shows up there. Whoops, I'd have to save it and click on, and there you have bike demos. This too, when you're creating a new drip, you can also change the wording here. It would say bike demos before, you could call it open box options. You can call it whatever you want. So you can customize that as well when you're creating a drip. But that sums it up for the branding your widget. If you have any questions, remember you can reach out to us. All the contact information is on every page down here with text, phone, WhatsApp, email. There you have it.